Hey folks, Captain Mike here from Salty Cape. I'm here with my good friend Jogo with Guerrilla Tactics Charters, and it's mid-August. The Bonito are thick as thieves, and today we got a fun plan ahead of us. We're going to focus on topwater fishing for bones. So Jogo, what's the plan for today?
Well, the game plan's typical to any hardtails. We're gonna, cover some ground, look for birds, surface feeding fish. I got a general idea where they're at, so should be a good day.
So we're in Nantucket Sound. Other side of it from me, coming out of Falmouth, we're in the Outer Cape area. But regardless of where you're Albie fishing, the playbook's pretty much the same. That's the cool thing about these fish. We do a lot of writing for Salty Cape, and we just know that, the plan is find fish, troubleshoot, crack the code, dial in, and repeat, right?
Yes,
so,
yep.
Looking forward to a good day. Let's get to it.
All right.
So Captain Jogo is doing a great job leading this school. So there's a pot of bones consistently holding up. We're keeping a steady RPM, not to disrupt. RPM changes can spook fish. We're getting upwind. So that's gonna allow us to stay a little further away from the school without spooking it and get multiple lines into it. Now that was just textbook presentation for these fish. The less motion, less running, the better. So get upwind, drift down. It's gonna give you a long cast. We've got long casting lures, light rods. We can reach these fish. So let's talk about the weather. Now these overcast, slightly rainy days are my favorite to fish because these low light conditions, I find the feeds tend to stay up longer. Got that guy. Yeah, it's tough to talk and look up the bone all at the same time. This guy came and was surface hit. But I was saying, in these overcast days, these feeds stay up for, see, they're still sipping through the surface. They stay up for a much longer time. You can even get away with a little heavier leader than normal, which is handy if there's blues mixed in. And oftentimes the mediocre weather culls down the boat traffic, so that's, a third bonus here. But, weather is very much a factor with Bonito and Albies. And, certainly wind direction and all that kind of stuff matters. But in this case, it's the overcast, drizzly rain that I like because these schools are staying up for a very long time. As you can see, we're the only boat around. You have a lot more time to yourself in these conditions. See how I pointed the rod out to clear the outboard? That's a tip I noticed worth mentioning from my charter days. A lot of folks get so focused on the fish, they forget their rod angle. So you can, see if you think the fish is going on the water. There's no harm in putting the rod in the water or bowing to clear the engines. See, I'm just keeping it out. I'm just gonna leave this fish to, see how I'm pointing the rod out? Always wanna clear the running gear. You don't want any line touching the hull. So you can see that's not a very big Bonito, and he had no problem hitting that surface eraser. And it looks like a big French fry. I'm sort of a vulnerable person around a big French fry, but a lot of folks worry about the surface eraser being too big. It is not. Yes, it's a lot bigger than a typical, little Hoagie epoxy jig lure, which is what we're really well known for. But don't be afraid to use the bigger baits for this. It's not a huge Bonito and had no problem definitely eating that lure. We might take that one home for the table. Those are the ones I like to keep, ones that I feel like maybe aren't great candidates for release. So we're gonna bleed this fish, get them on ice, and get back at it. So the surface eraser, one of the things I like about the surface eraser is it's the perfect lure to use in a situation where the bite is questionable. You don't know the species, you don't know the bait, they're up, they're down. So right now, while they're down, I'm fishing this lure fast, creating a little surface commotion to draw them in, to attract them in. I don't know how many fish are here. It's a big school, small school. So the surface eraser also gives me that distance so I can get the cast in, get the retrieve speeds in, and also fish is slow so I can slow it down. So it's an excellent troubleshooting lure to sort of crack the code. Now you might refine a lure choice if you find out they're in real small, tiny little anchovies, you might downsize, but it's a great starting point to the equation. And so may not be the lure you use every single time you're fishing for bonito and albies, but often it's my first grab, particularly early in the season. Like I said, where I'm just troubleshooting the situation. Like for example, I'm fishing it fast and loud up top right now. I can rot my tip, fish it slow and low like a needlefish, so it's just sort of tracking along. Or like what I call a soft bait retrieve, twitch, twitch, pause, twitch, twitch, pause. This is sort of zipping around like a soft stick bait. So it's 3 lures in one. Fish it fast, fish it slow, gives you the range. Then also, last but not least, the leader factor, where the lure is longer than average. It's still skinny, so it's not a huge presentation. It's a leader and a lure built into one. So if you do get a small yellow-eyed friend, AKA a bluefish, you have a very solid shot at not getting bitten off and losing a nice lure like this surface racer. So here's a cool little trick. Instead of casting over the boat, which is dangerous, I do what's called the lacrosse cast. I rotate my arms, same cast, and just fire it out. Super simple, easy. I'm on a charter boat now. Usually it's filled with people. That's a handy little move to not hook your friends while fishing, or hit a T-top, or hit another rod in the rod holder. So this would be a normal cast, dangerous, lures going through the boat. There's radar, lures, everything. So you go down, rotate. See, I just crossed my arms over, same thing. My normal position, I'm crossing my arms over, then firing to those fish. Now, that lure was never once inside the boat. I always start with the amber, partly because it's a natural bait. Looks like a squid, certainly an anchovy too, but it's just a very natural color. But once I determine what they're actually foraging on, I'll filter into the colors. And so when we cut up that bonito, we saw lots of peanut bunker in his belly. And I put the olive on, 2 twitches, thing just exploded on it, and here we are. It's hooked in the belly. I'm just gonna pop him off real quick. There he goes. It's amazing the difference, the attention we're getting switching to the olive. So we're working the system, starting with the attractor, cracking the code, figuring out what they're eating, and now it's just automatic. So this is topwater bonito fishing in textbook fashion.
Horrible release. Horrible.
That's what I call the outer cape release. Back in Falmouth, we do it proper. So I'm taking the surface eraser off. So that's topwater fishing fast. Now it's time to go to topwater fishing slow. So here we've got the micro chugs. And these things are so much fun to fish with. In fact, it's probably my favorite Albie lure. And since we're filming, I'm gonna go full on attractor with the hot pink so we can see it. But today in this overcast condition, you know, the chrome color, real natural color, is also a very good option. I'm always very partial to amber, and I don't have it here, but we also make an olive with a translucent white belly. But we're filming, and it's foggy, so we're gonna let them find it with this pink and just enjoy some great eats. And then we've just got a lot of fun in store for us. So I always tie a loop knot anytime I'm using small lures, especially with floral leader. It's a little on the stiff side, and so by putting that little loop knot in front of the lure, it's just going to have, you know, a lot more fluidity. So we've got one attractor and one imitator. There's a mix of, you know, peanut bunker, silver sides. We think they're on little baits, and then I'm a big attractor guy, especially with topwater. Certainly more fun for the camera. So Jogo's got the imitator, I've got the attractor. See which one's more effective. Who knows? They're probably both gonna fish good. Because the great thing about these micro chugs is they bring the fish to you. So if you're just near the feed, a couple of big pops, you got these real natural little teasers. So if they're on little baits, I think half the time they're eating the flag as opposed to the treble. It's just got one hook, so they're easy for release. A lot of times I even just mash the barb down. You know, at this point, we're pretty much catch and releasing. It's all about the eat, not the how big, how many. We just want the action. So I'm gonna mash the barbs down on mine and just enjoy some great topwater fun. So it doesn't take much, just my pliers close down on the hook, just rotate it around a couple times. It's better for the fish, better for a fast release, get back in the game quicker. You're good at the rod. I don't think you even lose that many, any fish for that matter, with the barbless hook. In fact, maybe you'll have better penetration. But we're catch and release. I just assume see these fish go back happy and healthy. Well, maybe not happy, but healthy. And so we're coming up on the feet. I'm gonna stop yapping and get at it. Oh, there he goes. That is just so cool. That never gets old. Topwater Poppin' Bonito. Also works on albies, but it's just a cool way to fish. We've all caught bones thousands of times on casting jigs, but for me, it's all about the topwater. Today we got them fast on the surface eraser, now slow and twitchy on the popper, clearing the rod here. And this fish is very unhappy about the situation. So again, don't let the popper size deter you from being too big with the albies. So the advantage of the barbless hooks is the popper comes right out and we can get a nice, happy, healthy release of the fish. Off it goes. So let's talk about how to fish the Hoagie Micro Chug. Now, it's a very light lure. This lure is about ½ an ounce and it's got a cupped head. So while it looks aerodynamic, I'm not gonna call this the world's greatest casting lure. And the cupped head, the lightweight, so it's very helpful when you fish with these to get upwind of the fish, to cast downwind. Now, certainly they bring fish to you, so it's not the end of the world if you get a little short, they'll come and find you. But whenever possible, you want to be upwind when approaching the fish with these Micro Chugs. So I'm in the zone here, way up, I'm getting control of my line. My first one is a loud pop, and I let it sit, pop, let it sit. Sometimes they want it just sitting, a pop and let it sit. That is particularly effective when they're on real little micro bait. I think they're interested in the teaser, the flag at the end. When you do that, you pop, let it sit. And so while that popper's sitting, that flag is just sort of dancing under the lure. So that's method one. Now method two is a continuous pop throughout the retrieve. So I've set it out, start with a loud pop, and then I'm just gonna chug this thing. Now, to me, both the same amount of fun in terms of awesome eats. The pop and stop, you get more hang time in a zone, where the downside of the continuous chug pop, you know, you're constantly having to recast. But I let the fish tell me what they want, and that's how I fish it. But I switch back and forth throughout the session. There's no right or wrong way to fish this. In fact, most time when I'm retrieving any lure, I'll change up the retrieve throughout the entire cast. So the takeaway is the stop, retrieve number one, the stop and pop. That's when they're keyed in on micro forage and those real frustrating times where even if you drop any lure you can think of in the feed, you're missing it. That's a pop and stop and let that flag work. Now the continuous chug retrieve number two, that's when you're drawing the reaction strike, blind casting, and they're a little more aggressive, maybe on bigger bait like peanut bunker like they are today. So those are the two retrieves. More often than not, I'll do both stop and pop and continuous chug all in one cast, but there's definitely days where one is more effective than the other, and I'll steer into that. So here's the outfit we're using today. My standard issue Albie outfit, in fact. This is the Hoagie 7-foot medium action rod with my 4,000 class reel. In this case, it's a Daiwa Saltus. I've got 20-pound test braid, got 20-pound test fluoro on this. Now, this is just a nice, happy, lightweight outfit to cast these lures. This is about a 1/2 ounce popper, and it's very soft action. It's a lightweight rod. It's a moderate fast action. Oh, and there's the Albies behind me, but you can see it's a light, easy, happy outfit. Perfect for these fish right here. Oh gosh, this is, now I know why everyone was laughing at me while I'm talking about the outfit. As you can see, cast no problem into the feed, and chug, chug. And oh, there he goes. Swimming at me. So I'm gonna keep cranking on this fish. It's about to pass the boat in a minute. So I just want to talk real quick about swimming this bone. Now this fish, it's really warm water, and it was out for a little bit with some photography, and I'm not going to release this fish if I don't think it's going to survive. I'll take it home to eat. But if you just swim it, sometimes it might take a couple of minutes, but this fish, the colors come back, its pectoral fins are sticking out, starting to have a hard time hanging on to the fish. That's when you know it's ready to let it go. But it really doesn't take much just to revive these fish. Just escort it a little bit with the boat and gear, and then off it goes. That's a healthy release. Now, the one thing we learned from the ASGA's Albie study, the Albie project, is if you take the time to revive these fish, their survival rate is through the roof, which is awesome. But it does take just a little effort. Didn't take long, maybe a minute, just to swim that fish. Off it goes to go have bonito babies and have bones for our kids to catch someday. Well, of course, the nice weather popped out as we come up to the boat ramp here in Bass River. But heck of a day. Yeah. Topwater bones, pretty much the entire session. Cracked the coat a little bit, got them on the surface erasers. Once the tide got cooking, got the Micro Chug. Awesome day, Jogo, as always. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, look forward to the next time.
Yeah, for sure, man. It was good.